Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap. I hope all of you guys had a wonderful day. My day was all right. I believe this is episode 26. We're getting there. Yeah, I hope all of you guys had a wonderful day. We got some news to cover. Not too much. Um, I mean, like not even enough to really have it organized. We have a Trump administration segment and we have an other news segment. In the Trump administration segment, we have no countries off the hook for the tariffs, and Trump has gone against the Supreme Court. And for the other news section, we have Bernie Sanders going to Coachella and farmers being hit hard by tariffs. We're going to open up with, we're going to do something different. Why not? Let's open up with the other news segment today. Bernie Sanders has gone to Coachella. Bernie Sanders has showed up at Coachella last night to encourage younger generations to stand up and fight for justice. He introduced Clairo, a great artist, by the way, I recommend her, and spoke to thousands of people before her performance. Sanders said, "Now you can turn away, you can ignore what goes on, but you can't do that. But if you do that, you would do it at your own peril. We need you to stand up to fight for justice, to fight for economic justice, social justice, and racial justice." The crowd booed when Bernie Sanders mentioned Trump, and he would reply, I agree. In a post on Twitter, Sanders wrote, "Thank you, Coachella." He added he enjoyed introducing Clairo. He said the nation is facing tough times while encouraging young people to lead across a number of issues. The younger generation has to lead in the fight to combat climate change, protect women's rights, and build an economy that works for all, not just the few, Sanders wrote. Um, Bernie Sanders is such a great man, and he would have been such a great president if he wasn't shut down by the Democrats. Um, we could have gone so far, though. Claro standing up and allowing Bernie to say something and introduce her for her concert was very cool, and I wish I could have seen it, but I'm glad I could have heard about it. Um, Bernie is traveling around my area right now, and I wish I could go see him, but he is like hours away, and I do not have a fuel efficient vehicle. So that unfortunately is not happening. But he is in a good spot. There is a lot of MAGA here who supported Bernie Sanders before Trump won his first election, and he likely has an opportunity to not only turn some heads, but get a lot of farmers in California on his side, which I hope he can do. I really do. But yeah, moving on. Speaking of farmers, farmers have been hit by tariffs. The United States farmers are increasingly worried about the tariffs between China and the United States. China's largest import from the U.S. is soybeans, but many kinds of produce grown in the U.S. are brought to China. China imports soybeans, oilseeds, and grains, along with many other products. Soybeans tend to go to feed China's large pig population, because China has like millions, maybe billions even, but millions of pigs. They eat a lot of pork there. So yeah, many farmers support the Trump agenda. Uh, but this is something I think that changes that. Many farmers don't make much money already, and taking our biggest market away is going to impact us in many different ways. My family grows walnuts. I've mentioned that on a few occasions already, and it's already hard enough to sell our products to China and in the United States. The American market honestly isn't great and really does suck. We're probably not going to make any money because of this, because our largest market in general is China and France a little bit. We do sell some walnuts to France, but overall, our largest market is China, and this impacts it a lot. Moving on to the Trump administration segments. This one's going to be a short one today. Not much to talk about. Weekends are slow, and of course, I'm sure tomorrow will be a long one as always. But yeah, let's get started. No country is off the hook on tariffs, according to Trump. Trump has declared that no country is off the hook on Saturday. He continued to call unfair trade practices, adding there is no trade exemption on electronics. This comes after U.S. Customs and Border Protection said there would be no tariff on smartphones, computers, or other electronics. Trump wrote in a post on Truth Social, "Fake news knows this and refuses to report it. We are at a hole taking a look at semiconductors and the whole electronic supply chain, in the upcoming national security tariff investigations. This sucks. I don't know how he expects all these things to be made in the United States, but that's how it goes. Of course, things can't be made in the United States for a multitude of reasons. One being we don't have all the resources to make all these technology. Another one being the labor isn't as cheap here, so it's easier to make technology in these Asian countries. And the list goes on. But these things are still going to cost more either way, even if the tariffs weren't in place or were exempt, because you still have to bring in the things to make the technology here. So either way, your iPhone's still going to cost a lot more money, unfortunately. That's the one he hopes you don't think about. But yeah, moving on to the final part today. This is going to be a really short one. Wow. Trump goes against the Supreme Court. The Trump administration has said that it is not required to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Federal officers said on Sunday that the High Court's ruling required that they only remove any domestic obstacles that would otherwise impede the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They argue he is no longer eligible for protection of deportation. The Trump administration has acknowledged the mistake and once again says they cannot do anything about it because it's under El Salvador's jurisdiction. I honestly have the feeling he's dead at this point. There's no reason for them to fight this hard to bring him back when he's just sitting in a prison cell. Like, he is not doing anything. It should be easy for you to bring him back if a court rules that. Not to mention, we haven't really heard or seen anything about him. We've only heard comments from his lawyers, and they've kind of been vague, in all honesty. He could be alive, sure, but the chances are looking a lot more slim if the Trump administration is fighting this hard not to bring him back. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching. Like I said, not much to cover, but I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We'll see you all tomorrow with another news episode, and yeah, if you're on YouTube, drop a sub. We're around 81 subscribers right now, 20 away from 100, so let's get there. If you're on Substack, consider pledging your support or subscribe for free. It's always an option. All funds from pledging your support go to supporting me and helping me pay for the things I need in college. So yeah, with that being said, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you all next video. Later.